Chilling audio tapes exposing the volatile, if not violent, marriage between accused murderer Matt Liley and his now dead wife, Nikki. Her nude body was found under a pile of brush in the woods near their Lawrenceville, Georgia home in July of 2011. Prosecutors say Matt Liley intended to rape his wife before killing her. They say he didn't report his wife missing for days, and he filed for divorce 4 days after she vanished, claiming she'd abandoned him and their 2 daughters.
You want to see how many bruises are going to show up here tomorrow? Huh?
Oh, bruises.
How much you want to bet me? You want to take bets on it? Huh?
I never touched you, Nikki, except to get...
Oh, my God!
Liley allegedly recorded almost every conversation among family members using an elaborate surveillance system that he had installed. He wasn't arrested until last spring when detectives recovered new footage that's now being played at his murder trial.
And initially, Matt Liley claimed he and his wife had argued. He woke up the following morning to find her simply gone. The medical examiner has since suggested that Nikki had been strangled. Back with Sarah, Jenna, Judge Mathis, and Jim. Now, if you're wondering why people are focusing on the husband, listen to some of these audio tapes. I want to play them for you because you've heard some already, and you see the, let's call it what it is, the domestic violence that's going on between these two. But let's listen to some of the husband piece of this. Take a look.
In the bedroom, you said to me, no, Matt, we can't leave things alone in the doctor's office. We have to bring it home.
That's not what I said and how I said it, and don't take my words out of context. When we got in that car...
Control your voice! I am not going to sit here and listen to this.
So you're hearing domestic violence. Sarah?
Well, she is completely unstable. I think she's completely crazy. And I think that the 500,000...
I think she's completely dead.
Yeah, well, she's completely dead, but before she died. And I think that there's been a whole slew of incidents where she's tried to stage some kind of domestic violence on herself, and he's taping all this to protect himself. I mean, why would you have 500,000 plus?
Because you're a control freak. Because you're trying to coercively control your life.
I disagree. I mean, and also, if you listen to these tapes, I've listened to some of them, not all of them, obviously, but he's the one that's usually calm. I mean, you played one where he isn't, but often he's the calm one, and she's the one that's out of control.
He knows he's recording.
He knows he's the one recording it.
Well,
this is a guy...
And she isn't crazy, she's hysterical, and that's typically what happens when you've been abused regularly, you get hysterical.
How do you explain the fact that there's also an audio tape of her, or videotape, I think, where she's explaining to her own mother how she got her lip busted? Apparently, the defense is going to use that because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If the prosecution can bring in some of these tapes to say that there was domestic violence and there was motive to strangle and kill this woman, and it's the husband, by the way, we always look at the husband first.
Thank you.
But, you know, then the defense can also bring in evidence that amongst these tapes that, wait a minute, she's actually made statements to her family members about how she was injured.
My fear is this woman. See, and Jenna, you know what I'm talking about here. We have some people with certain kinds of personality disorders. Their feelings get out of their body in other people. Their own rages end up in us. If you've ever been around somebody that makes you feel rageful and you think, I'm not a rageful person, where'd this come from? Certain personality styles do that. And this woman definitely has that style about her. If you notice when you listen to the tape, you want to strangle her, right? Everyone hates you. No, that she evokes that from you.
Absolutely.
And here's what that woman needs. Not that. You need somebody who's just and she'll calm down. She'll calm down, but if you come at her in a coercive and controlling way, she will escalate. And unfortunately, these people find each other, people that are not good for each other. So I think that this husband's got some trouble here. Here's what we do know about this case. There was a divorce filing 4 days after she disappeared. After her death, the husband took the daughters from Georgia and moved to Vermont. He was arrested last spring in Atlanta at a court appearance over Nikki's insurance policy. Came to get the insurance. And the house, as I've said, is not only wired for almost all conversations, but the system, get this, was shut down the morning of her disappearance. He claims she did it, and police say it was his login that resulted in the shutdown Judge Mathis, isn't this kind of the smoking gun for this guy?
Yeah, it's direct evidence. It's clear. In my opinion, if you put together all the circumstances we've seen, not only is it circumstantial, it's direct. That's direct evidence there.
Jim?
But where's the forensics? People want to see science. People want science, okay? There's 3 pieces of blonde hair in his car. Well, guess what, you guys? They're married. They live together. There's nothing unusual about her hair being in the,
right,
in the couple's
but you look
car.
at post-offense behavior then. When there's no forensic evidence, you look at behavior, and his behavior does not say that he was worried about his wife being gone or missing or something else.
Wanting someone dead, which I don't blame him, wanting her dead, doesn't mean that he killed her.
Okay, but wanting someone dead, and then she ends up dead, and he's acting as if he knew that already, those things may mean that he killed her.
And by the way, wanting to strangle somebody is different than wanting them dead.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's a very different thing. She makes us all feel like, oh, we got to get her to be quiet. That's different than I want to kill her. Now, I want to show you something else. This is an exchange about Nikki's unwillingness to be romantic with her husband. Take a listen.
At least 10 times in the past 2 days that I reached out to you, you kept on and on and on with your bullshit, and then wonder why when I walk through the door, I don't want to be with you. Wonder why when you take off out the door after your snark, I don't want to go put on outfits and lipstick with you, and you wonder why, and then you want to blame that on me? Fuck you.
This is sad, guys. If anyone out there is in relationships that in any way smacks this, please get some help. But this is not good. This is you don't live like this. You get help. This is treatable stuff. Or you find ways to end it in a healthy way, because these things do get volatile. And if one is coercive and controlling, that's not okay. That's domestic abuse. Jenna?
Yeah, this is actually even a step worse, right? Because this is domestic abuse on both sides. You know, she's name calling, and there's emotional abuse and potentially physical abuse, and there's neglect of emotions. I mean, this is abuse from both partners towards each other, and it's probably impacting their children.
Oh my! Well, I'm going to show you a tape of the children. Do we can get access to the kids? Yeah. This is the teenage daughters. They made a YouTube video in support of the father, but I want you to take a good look at these kids, and you'll notice something about them.
We need our dad. My mom was taken from us 4 years ago, before I even turned 13, and now my dad's been taken from us, and
he's missed so much already.
Yeah, he missed Rebecca's play. He's afraid of missing Rebecca's 8th grade graduation, and we just want our dad home. That's where he needs to be.
I miss him being there, and his stupid jokes, and waking us up in the morning with pots.
These kids have been witnessing this abuse much of their life. Their affect is flat. They are depressed. These are the people that suffer. Your kids suffer if you're fighting. Do not think for a second that kids are resilient and fine. They seem great. They're out playing, particularly the younger kids. Oh, they don't know any better. They won't remember it. It imprints on their brain, and it's you that's done that. You, both of you. Now, in this case, somebody's dead, which is the worst possible outcome. Next, a woman who lived her own domestic abuse nightmare is going to join us. She's going to talk about her experience and her take on this case after this.